Okay, starting off with the LMT, we got our two motor mount screws in here with washers. On the motor plate, you can see that, you might not be able to see, but so got multiple holes depending on what size pinion you're using. So we're on the 14 tooth pinion because that's the pinion that they gave us, is 14 tooth. All right. And to take the cover off, there's just that one single screw. You pop that off, put your two screws in. We got our motor mounted with our pinion. It does come with a pinion. Next, I'm gonna be putting in. Well, this is the motor we put in, the Spectrum Firma 3150 kV 550 brushless, and then we're gonna be putting our speed controller in. I got to change the connectors on these for the style battery that I use. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. I'm gonna chop this off and switch the connector out, and then I'm gonna start installing this, put the cover back on, and then I have to secure the front servo down with a few screws. Again, I took that out of a crawler. It's probably not going to be enough for this truck. It's not the best servo. But it is a Spectrum servo, and it does fit the spline for the servo saver. So until I pick up another one, I'm going to temporarily give that one a shot. Again, I suspect it's not going to be strong enough. But let me switch this connector out real quick, and then we'll get that speed controller installed, and then we'll hook up it all up to our receiver. Which there's two screws for the cover, the receiver cover. These guys there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, so they are different. So keep track of what goes where. One is threaded all the way up, and the other one has, looks like a step on it or something, or it's bigger. And again, maybe it pulled the plastic threads out of it already. Who knows? But anyway, so let me get that set up real quick and we'll be back. We have our motor in, cover back on, everything's all set up, speed controllers installed. I changed my terminals. In case anyone is wondering, the Dynamite fuse speed controller fits in here beautifully, like it was made to be there. The holes all line up perfectly. A couple screws and washers hold that right down. There are rubber grommets on there for vibration. The thing lines right up perfect. Makes you think. Low C makes Dynamite. Low C makes, I think, Spectrum. I'm not sure. They pretty much own everything at this point. The on and off switch is in the same location as it would be on an RTR. The only difference is the RTR actually screws down, and this one has servo tape on it. But all fits like it belongs. So happy with that. This is all set. The only thing is, I noticed right off the bat, I did run it real quick. I didn't even bother fully charging a battery for it. I just ran it real quick. This servo is definitely not strong enough. It will steer the truck, but I mean, at a static, when it's sitting static and you try to move the wheels, they just slowly kind of move over. It's not going to cut it. But for now, for test purposes, we can just leave that on there for now, and then I'll have to look for another servo. I don't know if I'll get another Spectrum servo. They're quite expensive, so we might be ditching this servo saver and running something else. I'll have to see what I come up with, and I will let you guys know about that. But other than painting the body, this is all set as far as electronics go. And in case anyone is curious about these buttons, as I was saying before on the body, the drill bit I used for that was 9/64. So 9/64, once you drill that Lexan out, these buttons snap in there perfect. They're in there tight. They literally just, almost like a snapping noise. You hear it, and you know it's in there. It's not coming out. Matter of fact, I've left the buttons in there, and I've moved that body all over, and they still have not come out. So I mean, they're not going anywhere. So I think that was the perfect size. I did kind of measure to double check all that before I did it. But there she is until we paint her up and screw this down permanently to this. That's that for now. Alright. I do have to do some more work on the SMT10 to get that up to par. As I was working on that, I noticed that the transmission screws that hold it to the bottom plate underneath, the plastics gave out. I mean, I've had that motor in and out of there. Well, not that motor, but I've had motors in and out of that thing so many times. I think the plastic just finally gave up, and I went to go snug them down. They started to snug, and then it just gave up. Just gave set free. I do have some other transmissions around that I can use the cases on. That is a full metal gear set in that transmission. Not including that into the price of the upgrade, because when I bought that truck they came with plastic gears, but now the builder's kits come with all metal gear transmission, so that's not a cost that will be relevant to anyone who's buying a new one. Again, when they first came out, they came with plastic gear sets, and I think they realized pretty quick they weren't going to hold up to a lot of the abuse. A lot of the crawlers and stuff like that, I'm assuming they've all moved over to the metal gears as well, that are running the AX10 style transmission still. But I upgraded that one. I don't remember with what brand. SSD, I think it was. It's been a while now. But anyway, again, if you order yours, it's going to come with metal gears, so that's not going to be added into the cost. I think I'm actually going to order an aluminum transmission case just to be done with it. Again, I could take apart another transmission and use the case, because the spur gear and the slipper and all that stuff are different on the my original AX10. There, it runs a 48 pitch tooth, I believe, and these are a bit more coarse, 32 pitch, I believe, something. Don't quote me on that. But that being said, I think I'm going to just go ahead and bite the bullet, get an aluminum case, be done with it. With these trucks are going to go through some torture. They are running 550 brushless system in them. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. If you guys think I should add the cost of that on too, I will, but I really think the transmissions will hold up to you just fine for you with a plastic case, provided you're not pulling them in and out constantly like I did. I mean, like I said, I've had that truck for a while. A week after I owned it, I took it all completely apart and dyed the chassis. And then I've had multiple motors in there. I've had a Reedy 17-turn motor in there at one time. I had a 12-turn Titan in that truck at one time. Let's see, I had a Traxxas VXL system in there at one time. I've constantly pulled that transmission in and out, and as we all know, plastic doesn't like that, so I think it finally just gave up. And I might even have more stuff than that in there. So you guys let me know if you think that I should include that in there because it is an upgrade, or you think it was just because I just kept pulling that transmission in and out. I feel that it's because I kept pulling the transmission in and out. But either way, we can do a separate run of everything when we add up everything. Alright, well, until I figure out what I'm going to do with this, I think we're curbing you for now. I'll start looking around for a servo, see what we're going to do with that. And then I'll have to get going on the SMT, which I, again, was building that, and then I ran into the transmission problem. Body has showed up for it. Speed controller motor, we have everything for it. That I have a good servo in already. It's just an Amazon one, but it's a pretty strong one. It's the blue waterproof ones, 35 kg or something like that. Alright, well, until I get those parts, we'll see you guys in a little bit. These screw holes stripped out on me. I've had this transmission out a bunch of times, as I mentioned before. So, here's my furnace, of course. So I ordered some of the HR aluminum transmission case. We'll go ahead and slam these on, or slam the gears in this, and get the SMT back up to par. So obviously we're going to have to take all this back apart. Is this the right one? No. And then from there, eventually I'll glue up a set of rims and tires for this truck. And then we should be good to go. The LMT is all set to go, except for paint work. I'm having a really hard time figuring out what I want to do. I reached out to my daughter to give me a couple ideas, and she did. But even her, as great as her ideas were, man, they're just really tough finding anything that'll work with anything for this truck really right now. Having really a block on this. I usually have everything pictured in my head and know what I want to do ahead of time, and it's really having a hard time coming up with anything this time. I don't know why. Very, very odd. Like I said, normally I have it all pictured out in my head ahead of time. Either truck. I have no idea what I want to do still. But I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Get this all situated, all apart, and switched over. And we'll be good to go there. Seriously doubt you guys want to sit here and watch me do this, but I can always edit it out, cut it down, shorten it, whatever. Really should have got that in aluminum too, I guess. I really forgot that these screws pull on that plastic plate there, and that's what they screw to. I was going to get an all aluminum setup. It had the gears and everything in it already, but I was kind of nervous reading some of the stuff on that, how the complaints and reviews on it were not the greatest actually, so I said I'd just go with the case, and I already got steel gears in here, so I didn't really need to buy a whole gear set, or a whole transmission, excuse me. Complete transmission. Although looking back at it, I suppose I should have, even if I pulled everything out of it. Try to hurry this along so you guys aren't sitting here bored out of your mind watching me disassemble and reassemble. As I said, I've already replaced all these gears with all metal gears, which if you do get the builder's kit, they come with metal gears already, so you'll be all set. You won't have to do this. You won't have to get a set of metal gears. Sorry. Yeah, we're already halfway there. No, you know. Don't forget to put this back on, Kev. A little bit of a rush there, I'm assuming. I wonder if you can hear my son up there yelling. Playing Fortnite. And we'll definitely probably edit this down some for you guys. I'm sure this is not very entertaining. I apologize for the silence as well. I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to hurry up and get this done for you guys and not take too long. And yes, I've done quite a few of these transmissions before, so again, sorry for the silence, guys. I'm trying to hurry up for you. There it goes. That screw wasn't going through at first. Right. Sounds like Fortnite's not going very well for my son up there. That did not seat all the way. There we go. All right. Just gonna put the motor back on. I don't remember what whole screw holes I was using, but I don't think it really matters. Checking my mesh. Alright. Again, the silence, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. No idea what to say right now. Except for, I just thought about it. I did get a few new subscribers recently, and I appreciate you guys subscribing and jumping in. Definitely noticed it. Appreciate it. As my phone is going crazy right now. Definitely appreciate you guys throwing the subscriptions out there, or subs out. Definitely lets me know that I'm making content that you guys actually want to see, and to continue going. Wow, that was 4 in a row. Somebody wants to tell me something. There we go. Incomplete transmission. Alright, guys. I won't bore you with putting it back in, because literally it's just flipping this guy upside down, sliding that in there, put the drive shafts back in, and then the provided screws here that have come with it. So we'll take a break. I'm sure you guys are sick of the silence, and I won't hold you up, but once I get this back in, we'll go over some more things. Well, we have our transmission in. All mounted up. Good to go. I did rotate the wheels, and I did notice a little bit of noise that concerned me. My pinion is actually rubbing on this cover. This pinion is not for this truck. It actually came out of the Yeti. So the reason I ran this pinion from the Yeti is because it's a 5mm shaft, which this motor is. So I'm going to have to pick up another pinion because it is rubbing on the cover here, and we don't want that. I could probably notch this cover out some for clearances, but this had like an 11 tooth in it originally, and now we've got a 17 in it, which I was going to just give it a shot and see how it ran. See if there are going to be any heating issues or anything. Being that we went from a 540 to a 550, honestly I didn't think we'd have any torque issues, or even honestly any heating issues, because the system we're running in this is like a 1/8 scale system in a 1/10 scale truck, which this I believe had a 16 tooth pinion in it, carrying around actually more weight than this. This weighs less than that does. I can give you actual numbers on that at some other point. So I didn't think it was going to be a real issue, honestly, as far as gearing goes. Obviously, final drive ratios are going to make a difference. Transmission gear ratios, axle ratios, those are all going to make a huge difference, obviously. So I figured I'd give it a shot and see where it was at. But now that I've come across where it's rubbing, and it's just very lightly, it's barely at all. I mean, I really could just probably notch that right out and it would be fine. But I don't want to weaken this plastic up any either. So I guess until I figure out what I'm going to do about all that, I guess we'll hold on and pause there. By the way, this dynamite fuse, the mounting tabs line up perfectly with the plate underneath here. So if anyone's curious about that's going to bolt right down there like it was meant to be. The only other thing is, these links I bought are all metal, no plastic ball ends. and they are kind of noisy. I mean, I'm going to run them for now. They're kind of sloppy, they're kind of noisy, so buy better links if you decide to upgrade your links. But all in all, we're all set. This is all set for the most part for now. I just got to get a different pinion for it, put the cover back on it, and then I'll change my connector, throw some tires on this, and this will be ready. So I guess we'll call that a wrap for now. I already got my tire glue. I had to glue up some tires on some rims. I already got the rims and tires. But for now, I guess for this week, we'll call it a wrap. And then I'll get some tires on here. And again, hopefully we have figured out some paint jobs, because I got to come up with two. It's part of my problem. And I did pick the same bodies, so I got to make them different. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I appreciate you guys sticking around with this build series, and I guess we'll see where we go from there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.